It's 3 o'clock. Employee affairs. Department and agencies committee is now in session. It's Tuesday, February 23rd, 3 p.m. in hearing room 3. This will be our standard meeting time for everyone. Looks like we got a beautiful crowd out there today. Lisa, would you take the roll, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Kiesling.
Yes.
Representative Beck.
Here.
Representative Bricken. Representative Carr.
Here.
Representative Carringer.
Present.
Representative Chisholm. Representative Halford.
Here.
Chairman Holsclaw.
Present.
Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any personal orders or announcements? You are recognized, Chairman Kiesling.
Well, thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. Yes, I do have a couple of guests today with us, Mr. Zach Trimble and gentleman traveling with him out of Charlotte, North Carolina, riding Bell. So if you would, we'd like to welcome our two guests, if you would help me, please.
Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. Any other personal orders or announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on. First, I'd like to introduce basically the backbone of this committee. Without these people, nothing get done, and that would be first my assistant, Lisa Falkenbach. Raise your hand, show them who you are. Attorneys Matt Mundy and Josh Houston. Research analyst Nathan Witt. Intern Matthew Nicholson. He's from Belmont. Library and Archives Gina Henderson. Clerk Alicia Downer. And doing our video is Lance Eastman and Jacob Carr. And Sergeant at Arms is Terry Vantris. Like I said, these guys never get enough thank yous or accommodations for what they do because they make it all happen. We just kind of go through the motions. And what I'd like to do now, since we have a small committee, is I'd like for you to introduce yourself and a little bit of twist to that, tell where you're from, but I want to know what your favorite hobby is to do. And we're going to start with you. You've got one of those, Chairman Kiesling? Your nickname's Kiesling Highway, so. And we're going to start with you, Kelly. Yes.
Well, I'm honored, Chairman. Thank you, Kelly Kiesling, representing House District 38. To those of you who may not be familiar with our district, we've got a total of, represented a total of 5, actually 4.5 counties. We begin just north of here at the Westmoreland, Macon, Sumner County line at Westmoreland. So we have Macon, Clay, Pickett, Scott, and Ventris counties. So it's sometimes a challenging ride across the district, particularly last week when we had all that ice and snow. Very little travel up there. But anyway, it's great to be here. It's great to be serving with you this next General Assembly. Chairman Holsclaw, thank you again for your service. Appreciate it. And I do not have a hobby. Thank you.
I think you do. What exit is Hartman?
There's a story behind all this. What exit? What? Now, what exit number is what?
Hartman.
Hartman. I'm not sure where Hartman is.
Try Johnson City.
Where?
Try Johnson City, Tennessee.
Johnson City.
Did I talk that redneck? Did I talk that redneck? You can't understand me?
No. Johnson City's at around that exit. Gray and Johnson City area is around 57, exit 57 off of I-81.
That'd be correct. And for y'all's knowledge, he can tell you on the interstate any exit number there is. So if you want to know, he can tell you.
Just about, yeah. Is that correct, Jesse?
And now we go on to Chairman Halford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Curtis Halford, I represent District 79, which is all of Gibson County and part of Carroll County that I share with Representative Darby. And this is my second time to serve on this committee. I enjoyed it last session, and I look forward to it again. And I've got about the same hobbies that my seatmate here has, which is almost none. So, but I'm looking forward to serving with you guys. It'll be fun again this year.
Thank you, Chairman. And now we'll move on to Michelle Carringer, Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know, how do you follow these two? That's a tough road. Anyway, I am Michelle Carringer, and I represent House District 16 in Knox County. And it is an honor to be here to represent my district and also to serve with all of you fine gentlemen. I just happened to notice all of you all are young men that I'm serving up here with. And so I've got a lot of hobbies, but my favorite, I don't know if you call it a hobby or passion or love, but I love spending my time with my 3 grandchildren. That brings the greatest joy and all in life. It's a blessing. So thank you, Chairman, and again, I'm looking forward to serving on this great committee, a very important committee for our state. So thank you very much.
I appreciate the young comments, but there's quite a few of us that have gray hair up here, so I don't know how young that makes us. Representative Bricken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, it's an honor to serve on this committee with you. Now that I'm a sophomore, no longer a freshman with this gray hair, it's a vast improvement. So, but again, looking forward to serving with you on this committee. I represent the 47th District, all of Coffee and half of Warren County. Hobbies, I do enjoy reading. I'm a swimmer, so I try to swim usually every day when I'm home. So there you go.
Is that outdoor?
Not this time of year.
Representative Jesse Bobwire Chisholm.
Hey everybody, I am Jesse Chisholm out of Shelby County, Memphis, Tennessee. I've served in the 85th District, which is our most western district of the state. So I have a lot of fights with our neighboring states about keeping our resources here in Tennessee. I have quite a few hobbies, so I won't go down that long list, but I am a piano playing deer hunter. Thank you.
We're going to have to hear you tickle the ivory sometime, Jesse. Representative Beck.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Bill Beck. I represent the Fighting 51st, which everyone is sitting in right now. Welcome to the 51st. It's most of downtown, Germantown, the Gulch, all the way to the lake, Old Hickory Lake in Old Hickory, Tennessee. And I'm thrilled to serve on this committee for the second term. And it's really a fun committee. I want to say a shout out to Matt, our intern, is a Belmont graduate, and I'm a Belmont graduate. Thrilled that he's with us. My daytime job is I'm an attorney here in Nashville, and my hobby would have to be history. I love history, and Nashville is full of history. It's a great state of Tennessee, but I'm just thrilled to be here and thrilled to be serving under you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Chairman Carr, last but not least, save the best for last.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Dale Carr. I represent District 12, which mostly all of Sevier County. I'm really proud to be here. This is my first time. I'm a freshman on this committee. It's the first time I've been on this committee or on the state committee. I really look forward to serving on this committee with the Department of Agencies and also the full committee for the state. It gives you a little different perspective because I've served on the same 2 committees for all my other time, except this year I got changed to a few committees. But I really appreciate it. I think this is going to be a good committee, and we're going to learn a lot. We're going to do a lot this year, and I appreciate it. And as far as my hobbies, I guess I'd have to say I like to spend the time with my my granddaughter, she's 9-year-old. She plays fast pitch softball. So I travel. I don't travel with her. She goes to too many places for me to travel with her. But I do like to go watch her play ball. Thank you.
Did you say 9 or 90?
Well, if she's 90, I don't know what I am.
I get ready to say you're pretty old.
I'm pretty old. Yeah, she's 9-year-old and she can throw she can throw a ball. She can pitch a ball that I can't even hit. Put it that way.
Thank you. Basically, we have, it took them a little while to perfect this committee. But with the members on it now, I think they finally got it perfected. So we do appreciate the new members. Also, just kind of clean up, informational type thing as far as rules and policies. We heard those in the full committee, and we're going to adopt all those that we've heard. But I'll just cover a couple of them briefly. One that I've been pushing for a while is all the calendared information will now be via dashboard, so it's electronic. We'll save a few trees that way. We can thank that for COVID. And then, due to COVID, bills and notices and proposed amendments for all committees must now be submitted electronically, and all those bills need to be on notice at 3:30 p.m. Wednesday. To be considered timely filed on Tuesdays meetings, amendments must be emailed to the Kelly Kiesling House State Government mailing 10 a.m. on Monday. By rule, a bill may be calendared 3 times in a given committee, after which it'll be set on a special calendar to be heard along with the final calendar of the committee. The committee will no longer allow testimony that has not been requested at least 24 hours in advance. And that's just a few of the highlights. The rest of them, and everybody will get a amendment packet and a bill and policy rules by email. So, having said that, we do have a calendar day of one bill, and we are sorry to keep you waiting, Chairman Lady Hazelwood, and you are now recognized. Got a motion and a second?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's very entertaining, so glad to have some comedic relief in the day. This bill is a very simple one. It just would increase from 28 to 60 calendar days the time frame for a charitable gaming event that's been approved by the Secretary of State's office, and that would only apply for January 1 of this year through June 30, and this is a COVID-related issue, as you might imagine. So,
And just for clarification, for the record, that's House Bill 0132.
that's right, and I'm very sorry I didn't mention that.
Do we have any discussion? Questions been called? Oh, pardon me, you're recognized, Representative Bricken.
I'm not going to talk about electricity to you. So.
Good.
All right. Why do we need to have a 60-day timeline for this at all? I mean,
There's just some issues with, charitable gaming. There's a history behind that, I think, in our state, and so we've tried to put some very strong parameters around it. Currently, as it stands, there's a 28-day window that if you're approved.
Excuse me, they're allowed one gaming charitable event a year, right?
Right.
So if they provide that application, I just don't understand why that's not good for the whole year, and why we put this silly 28 days, much less 60 days on it. So that's it's more of a comment. I just don't understand it. I think it's just overly silly.
Well, there's always an opportunity. Bill filing is, are we still open? You can maybe file a bill to just make it for a year. But this would just simply, we have a particular situation in my district with a school that was approved, and with COVID, they need to shift it outside that 28-day window. And this would just allow that. And again, it is just the exception for this 6 months, and then it would go back to the 28 days. And I think we might discuss your point further, but I think because of history in the past with some situations, unfortunate situations that occurred in the state, It's an effort by the legislature to better control that.
Other questions? Representative Beck?
Thank you, Chairman Hazelwood. I'm just trying to understand this amendment that was put on by the Senate. So, explain to me the timing of okay, if they already had picked a date between January 1st, 2021 and June 30, 2021, now this 60 days will be after, we'll give them up till after 60 days after that June 30th date. Is that correct?
No, it has to be, if the 60 days extends beyond June 30, they can't go beyond June 30 because that could technically give them 2 in a calendar year. And that's what the Senate amendment did. I didn't have that amendment at the time, so probably we'll be bringing that to full committee next time.
That is correct. We do not have that amendment before us at this current time. That will be presented during full committee. So it was done in the Senate and wasn't brought to the House. So we'll address that in full committee.
Thank you, Chairman.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Goes on to full committee.
Thank you very much.
We have other personal orders announcements. You're recognized, Chairman Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wondered if you'd give us the status of House Bill 371.
Yes. Thank you, sir. House Bill HB 0371 by Casta has been taken off notice. So, having said that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
We are adjourned.